Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Caitlin, and today we are doing a very Merry Christmas special, but I don't think I'm really, dressed for the look, so let's just change that real quick. And there we go, all decked out for the season. So for today's episode, I thought it'd be really fun to do a creature creation for Christmas. Say that 5 times fast, that was really tough to say. So last year I did a monster mash of a reindeer combining some very classic Christmas animals with a reindeer, and this year I thought I'd take a little bit of a
dark twist to this one.
So let's have a very dark Christmas this year, as I say, with this Shiba sweater looking totally maniacal. 100% totally works. So today I was thinking, let's do something with more of the darker lore of Christmas with Krampus, or Krampus, or however you want to say it. There's so many ways I've heard it pronounced. But either way, I thought we could still continue with the designing a new reindeer theme by thinking, if Krampus had a reindeer, what would it look like? So today I am designing a reindeer for our lovely little Krampus, and I was thinking this reindeer could help him carry the bundles of sticks that he gives to the parents to beat their children, or just the sticks that he uses to beat the children. Totally fine Christmas story. So let's go ahead and jump in and do a couple of rough sketches on how I'm going to make this dark, demonic reindeer. So there we have it, the first initial rough sketch. So I'm really liking the look of this reindeer. He's looking very dark and maniacal, and I'm really excited to jump in and tweak him a little bit more and just make him even more evil looking. And I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite artists, Miss Monster. She designed the reference picture that I used for a Krampus inspiration because I absolutely love her design. So taking that and a reindeer and trying to think of how I'd make it for that particular version of Krampus was the main inspiration for this guy. So if you haven't checked out her stuff, she's an amazing artist. I absolutely love her. Probably one of my first monster idol people that I looked up to, so go check out her work. Either way, I have the rough sketch ready, so let's go ahead and jump in and do the line art and the color, and then we will be done. I'll see you guys at the end. So I was super excited to start this piece for Christmas. I knew I wanted to do something more Krampus themed, or Krampus, or however you want to pronounce it. I knew I wanted to do something themed to the mythology of the more demonic side of Christmas, and I was really excited when I thought of, well, what if I just designed the reindeer? And so this project in general, I had kind of on the back burner for quite a while, and it was so great to finally jump in and draw this creature. I always have a lot of fun making kind of more dark demonic art. I don't do it a lot on the channel, and I don't do it I don't avoid it on purpose or anything. I don't know, I just don't get around to really drawing it with the monster mashes or other random prompts that we do. I've done it here and there, but God, I've always had a special dark place in my heart for drawing dark creatures and dark art in general. And God, this guy really fulfilled that void and that need. I've been wanting to draw something like this so bad, and he was so much fun. So just to give you guys a little bit of insight on the design in general. So kind of where I was coming from this was combining the description of Krampus with what a reindeer would also look like. So I kind of have different parts mixed and matched. For example, I bet some of you in the comments have already said that technically the feet I have on there aren't quote-unquote reindeer feet. So kind of what I was going for, which, reindeer feet are really cool, and I like that it has kind of this four-toed look. I really like that as well. But at least in my initial thought process when I was designing this guy was I wanted him to have the cloven hoof feet that Krampus has, or what goats have. So I kind of did a combination of that and kind of horse feet in the back. I don't know, I really liked how that felt and how that looked instead of having traditional reindeer feet. So that's kind of what I went with his design. And then the horns, I really just wanted to play up more towards the demonic horn look, not like actual reindeer antlers, but I wanted to have some similar curvature and look that reindeer antlers have, but for sure amp it up so it looks like demon horns. So I had a lot of fun playing around with that and making this guy's main face like this really cool skull, and then adding little other bits of the Krampus lore to his design in general. So for those of you who don't know, I don't know if I say this in the outro, but I actually got a lot of information on Krampus from the extra credits video that they just released. I think it's called Extra Mythology of Krampus. If you guys don't know that channel, I'd really recommend it. They go a lot into some amazing history and amazing mythology and stories and different things. I'd really check them out, but I really liked their video. Like, I didn't know as much about Krampus before I started this, and after watching that, I'm like, all right, I am like not an expert, but I know a lot more. So with that, I found out Krampus has these two bells that are attached to his back, but they don't sound like really nice jingle bells. They sound, as they said, like buckshot in a tin can. They just don't sound great. They just have this really eerie sound to them. So I thought, oh man, we should deck this guy out with a lot of bells. Instead of the traditional jingle bells that you'd get on a nice happy Santa Claus reindeer, you'd get these really awful tin canny, like chain rattling sounding jingle bells all over this guy, and I needed to put them everywhere. So I put them on his front feet along with a collar around his neck and on the end of his long tail, and I just absolutely loved the idea of what this guy would sound like walking through the street. You would just hear the really menacing sound of his hooves hitting like a stone road or pavement, and then you'd hear these awful, grotesque bells. And I could also just imagine him just having this really awful, heavy breathing that just sounds like cold wind on a winter's night. Oh, I just love it. I love it. Let's just add him to the lore. Along with that bit of lore, I also added the bundles of sticks that you see with Krampus as well. What I found out in the Extra Histories video is that Krampus brings around these sticks to either use to beat children that have misbehaved and either didn't do their studies or didn't learn their prayers or didn't do their chores. They'd usually get a whipping with one of these sticks. Or I guess the worst punishment is if Krampus gave a bundle of them to your parents to use when they felt it was needed. So I was like, ooh, how cool would it be if this reindeer carried around those sticks for him? And I couldn't resist. I put a couple bundles on the back and a way for him to carry them, and it just really kind of brought it all together. So if you imagine just a bunch of these, instead of carrying like a sleigh of presents, they just have these sticks, and maybe I know Krampus in his lore also has like a satchel or a basket on his back that he stores naughty children and takes them away. And there's a couple different iterations of what happens to those children. But I would imagine you might run out of space in those satchels. So even better if these things carried the children, like the extra kids, in this like cart instead of like a really nice sleigh. Oh, I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And now you got to see the darker side of Katelyn, but I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and watch the rest of this with some very fitting holiday music, and I will see you guys at the end. And there we have it. We have our evil Krampus reindeer, and I absolutely love him. He's so like dark and intense, and can you imagine a sled pulled by like 12 of these? That would be fucking frightening. But either way, I love how this guy turned out, but I also wanted to let you guys know, if you are a patron over on Patreon, you're gonna get this as an exclusive Christmas card. So I designed this postcard for all of my patrons for a happy Krampusmas, I guess you could call it, and I'm gonna be sending this to all the patrons for December. So look forward to that, and if you guys would like to support me, support the channel, help this become my full-time career, and get some cool perks along the way like Photoshop files, sketch postcards, behind-the-scenes art, all of that, go check out my Patreon. I'd really appreciate it. So thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday, hopefully not filled with demonic spirits beating your backsides with sticks. If you haven't checked out the lore of Krampus, I'd really recommend it. It's really dark and intense, and I love it, so go check it out. But either way, happy holidays, or if you don't celebrate anything, happy December, happy end of the year, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.